Hi, this is Dan Ross from Silicon Valley Hypnosis Center, and today I'm going to talk about basically how to use your brain, and that's a set of tools that come under something called Neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, and it's really how your brain is programmed that causes the problem and how you can use your brain differently to come up with a solution. And I'm here with my colleague Rick Allen, who has had similar training to me, and he specializes in career coaching. He's quite accomplished at it. And we're actually going to work on a little something that he had come up. He trains a lot of people, and he had a difficult participant, which can happen. Mm-hmm. So when you think about that on a scale of 0 to 10, how negative is that incident? So 10 is like intensely negative and 0 is neutral.
Probably a 4 to 5.
4 to 5, okay. So the first thing I do is just measure it because we want to know if we're making progress or not. So when you think about that, first of all, what might you notice going on in your mind when you think about that particular incident?
Kind of feel my body temperature rise a little bit. And
your body temperature, so he's having some feeling in here, and your temperature rises a little bit. And I'm curious, do you see anything in your mind? Is there any picture or movie that's going on when you think about that incident?
It's funny that you asked that. I just saw a stop sign in my mind when you said that. So.
Okay, so you saw a stop sign. And I'm curious, is there any self-talk or any sounds that go along with that when you think about that incident?
It's kind of funny. It was like a recollection of a stop, look, and listen from being a little kid, of like stop and look around and listen to what's going on and adjust. Okay.
So this is an area where we might actually want to check on if there's any positive intention for that. So is that something that's causing the problem, or is that more of like a solution kind of thing?
That was a solution.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you think about the actual incident, like if you were to think about the I guess there was a participant.
Yeah, it was a group coaching situation, and one person was distracting other people, and yeah.
Yeah, so as trainers, we have to deal with that, and you know what this person looks like, right?
Yeah, I have met him before. It was a long distance group chat with people in 4 different geographic areas.
Okay, so this is, you're on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this might not have a visual component to it. I'm curious, is there any self-talk that goes along with it? When you think about this person in this incident, what might you be saying to yourself?
Well, it was yesterday, so now it was telling myself to slow down now with this person.
Okay, so telling yourself to slow down. So again, he's getting into the solution already. But I'm curious, what is it that makes it this 4 or 5 rather than just like a 0?
It was feedback from other people involved with the program that made it kind of a 4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, you're hearing some feedback.
Right.
Okay.
And reading it. Yeah.
Reading and hearing feedback. Okay. Now we've got the actual problem. So as I mentioned, I have to be fairly observant about what somebody's doing in their mind. You presented a couple things. I try them on. I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't quite feel right. That feels more like a solution thing. So you're seeing, like you're imagining reading an email or seeing some kind of...
Reading a text from a couple people on the call. Yeah.
Okay. And then hearing like somebody was talking to you saying...
I heard their voicemail.
Yeah. Heard their voicemail. Okay. So let's work on those things. So we have something he sees, something he hears, and something he feels. So if you were to think about how you see those texts now, give me the qualities of it. So these are the cinematic qualities. How far away is it? How big is it? How bright is it? Show me with your hands where that is in your mind.
Well, I was sitting down reading a text on my phone, a series of texts while I was eating dinner, and then after dinner, and then I called the person, left a voicemail, and they called an hour and a half later when I was doing something else and left a voicemail. We were playing phone tag.
So the thing I'm noticing is he's still associated into it. So I have another video on association dissociation, but we'll do that right now. Okay. So I actually see Rick over there.
Okay.
And see him getting that feedback.
Okay.
And notice what happens to your experience. Is it still a 4 or a 5, or has it gone down a bit?
It decreases. It's more neutral to it, and I'm like, well, I wonder what's going on there. Part of it was like, it did bring up a little bit of my experience, just watching the Rick over there in my imagination.
Yeah.
Experience it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But it was lessened.
And since we're really talking about cinematic qualities, what happens if you move it way, 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 way over there?
It really reduces it.
Really reduces it. Okay.
Yeah.
And now there's useful information, so we don't want to just knee-jerk and throw everything out, right? So where's the appropriate place to see it, where you get the information and get the feedback, but you don't have to have the negative feelings? How far away does that need to be?
About 100 feet.
About 100 feet, okay. And so you can still get useful information out of it when it's 100 feet away. Now notice, a problem that's 100 feet away is a very different problem than a problem that you're still imagining doing it. He was actually replaying the situation in his mind. If you've ever done that, you want to get out of it, this is how we do it, right? So I guide you through things like that. And you notice the beginning of this video, the first couple of pieces of information were more content oriented, and that's very common, and that's really okay, because that's how we're taught to think. But the real change comes when you think about how you think about it, and just noticing that he was still in it. When people have stress or trauma or something like that, they're still experiencing it through their own mind, and when you see yourself way over there, it's very different. And I'm curious, so when you think about it now, what's your level of feeling with it?
It's really reduced.
It's really reduced?
Really, really reduced, yeah.
So if you were to imagine that feeling, you said you had some temperature here, and I'm curious, was there a flow or a direction to that feeling?
Like a flow, you mean in my body, or?
Yeah. So sometimes feelings are stuck, and sometimes they move. Sometimes they move up and down, or they.
Oh, well, I felt it across my chest here, like heat warm up.
Heat warm up.
And then, asking about as this picture moved over there, or as I was experiencing.
As you experienced it before, yeah.
It really warmed up across my chest, and then.
So just imagine doing this.
My throat kind of tightened too.
Okay. So what we're going to do is do that once more the way you originally did it.
Okay. Like.
Yep.
It moved from like this, and then.
Okay. So what I want you to do is run it backwards. So do this, and then do this backwards. And what happens to the feeling?
I mean, doing the throat thing had a huge impact.
Yeah. Notice he's laughing about it now. By the way, we will have fun in our sessions. Yeah. So stuff doesn't have to be heavy. And we're just playing with the dials here. Yeah. And notice
this is fun. It
feels
better in my body.
Yeah.
It feels a lot better.
So we're changing the neuro-linguistic program. We're changing what he sees. We didn't work with what he heard, but we're changing what he felt. And this has taken about 5 minutes. And how do you feel now?
Oh, heck of a lot better. Yeah.
Heck of a lot better. Okay. So this is basically the type of work that we do. We get into what and how you're doing things in your mind, and we just change them. And I just offered him suggestions, and the stuff mostly worked. And if it hadn't worked, we would just try something else, right? But it's kind of knowing where to which dial to adjust, and things change pretty quickly. So I look forward to working with you in a session and finding out what kind of reprogramming we can do for you as well.
Dan's good at this. He's helped me a lot with this, and a lot of other people. So.
Well, thank you. That was very unsolicited, but thank you.
I'm picky with. I've done this for 24 years with different NLP training, and I'm picky with who I let work with me, and he's really good. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for that. That was not meant to be in the video, but thank you.
Sure. Thanks for helping me right there. Sure.